Ever since I can remember, I've always been a dreamer. My childhood was filled with fairy tales and happy endings, where love always triumphed. I saw myself as a princess, waiting for her Prince Charming, believing that every love could be a magical story. But as I grew up, I realized that real life was much more complicated than the tales I used to read. My name is Claire, and this is the story of how I found myself trapped in a web of love, betrayal, and forgiveness. A journey that taught me about deep emotions, complex relationships, and, above all, the strength of true love. Life in the big city had its charm, but also its pitfalls. I worked as an interior designer, a profession that allowed me to transform spaces and, in a way, transform people's lives. What could be more rewarding than creating homes that reflected others' dreams? Yet for me, home was still a place I longed to find, a space that resonated with the essence of love. On a sunny afternoon, I met James. He had that laid-back demeanor, with a smile that lit up the room and laughter that filled the air like music. We fell in love almost instantly. Our dates were like scenes from a romantic movie, candlelit dinners, long walks under the moonlight, and conversations that stretched until dawn. James wasn't just a boyfriend, he was my confidant, my adventure partner, and I felt that I had finally found the man who could understand my soul. However, what started as a fairy tale soon turned into a drama. James began to pull away, and with each passing day, I felt that something was wrong. He always had a ready excuse for not being present, and I, in my naivety, believed every word. The void that settled between us was suffocating, but the love I felt was still strong enough to keep me by his side, even as doubt consumed me. That fateful night, as I waited for him at home, an unusual anxiety took hold of me. I decided I had to know the truth. That's when I saw his cell phone on the table. He had forgotten it at home. With my heart racing, I picked up the phone and checked his messages. What I found shocked me, messages from another woman. With each word I read, I felt as if the ground had collapsed beneath my feet. Betrayal was a reality I never thought I would face, and the pain was overwhelming. I felt a wave of emotions, anger, sadness, and a deep sense of betrayal. The image of the man I loved was replaced by a stranger, and the pain of discovering that the love I believed to be sincere was tainted by lies was unbearable. I decided to confront him. When he arrived, the conversation was intense and filled with tears. The words we exchanged were like daggers. James apologized, said he had made a mistake, but the promises that he would change felt empty. In the days that followed, the pain transformed into a whirlwind of feelings. With each hour that passed, I questioned whether I should forgive him or move on. What we had was real, but it was also tainted by lies. The love that once seemed so pure now felt like a source of anguish. I decided to give myself some time. I went to my grandmother's house in the countryside, a place that had always brought me peace and wisdom. The scent of wet earth and the songs of birds wrapped me in a warm embrace. The tall trees and the sound of the wind helped me clear my mind and put my emotions in perspective. I began to ask myself what I truly desired. Love shouldn't be painful. Life is too short to live in the midst of betrayal. As I walked along a trail, I found a lake. The water reflected the blue sky, and I realized I was ready to make a decision. Forgiveness didn't mean forgetting, but rather liberating my heart from the weight of pain. I returned to the city with a newfound determination, a burning desire to reclaim my inner self. When I met James again, it was at a cafe we used to frequent. The atmosphere was calm, but the tension between us was palpable. I needed to be honest. "James, I love you, but I can't continue like this. I need to know if you truly regret your actions and if you are willing to fight for our love." He looked into my eyes, and for the first time, I saw sincerity. James spoke about his mistakes, how he felt lost, and about his insecurities. He wanted to change, not just for me, but for himself. The conversation was painful, but it was also a step toward healing. We decided to try again, but with clear rules. The journey of forgiveness was not easy. Each day was a challenge, an internal battle between the desire to trust and the fear of repeating the mistake. The little things, like good morning messages and home-cooked dinners, began to heal the wounds. We learned to be more open with each other, to share our fears and insecurities. Our relationship transformed. We began to value what really mattered: honesty, respect, and love. James and I began to explore new experiences together. We went to concerts, took short trips, and even ventured into cooking dishes we had never tried before. With every shared moment, trust began to be rebuilt. I rediscovered the beauty of the love that still existed between us, and James came to understand the importance of being transparent and present. Finally, on a starlit night, James proposed to me. He chose the same lake where I had found clarity. With tears of happiness streaming down my face, I said yes. Love is a journey, and ours was just beginning. Today, looking back, I see that every experience, even the painful ones, were fundamental in shaping who we are. My dream was not just to live a fairy tale, but to build a real story, full of emotions, challenges, and truth. And so, between dreams and reality, we found our way, ready to write the next chapters of our lives together. True love is the one that weathers the storms and emerges stronger. It is not just a feeling, but a choice we make every day. If you enjoyed the story, please like and subscribe.